Welcome. This is a quick introduction of the domain-driven design capabilities of the Qlerify platform. The starting point is to apply event storming to identify domain events and arrange them on a timeline. Once we have aligned all stakeholders around the relevant domain events and their order, we can add commands, aggregates, actors, and read models to each domain event. To speed things up, you can generate suggestions for all the above by using generative AI. In this example, we will generate a domain model for a sales process with generative AI. We will enter a prompt and ask the AI assistant to suggest a business process and domain model artifacts. The artifacts can be configured in the settings, and in this introduction we will use read models, commands, aggregates, given when then, and user stories. We will use the following example prompt. The CRM process for a B2B SaaS company that is used in the standard setup in Salesforce CRM, where the entire process is run in the Salesforce system. Then we click on the button, Generate Workflow with AI, and wait for the AI assistant to finish. The AI assistant starts by generating the business process with all the domain events. Then it generates some of the cards we specified in the settings. Then it adds commands to the domain events. Then it adds read models to the domain events. And finally, it adds entities to the workflow. The next step is to look at the AI-generated content and adapt it as needed. All the content created by the AI assistant can be modified. You can edit the existing content or add cards such as user stories, data fields, domain events, etc. You can use the AI assistant to generate content, or you can add your own content. You may need to edit the name of a domain event, change the order of them, or add or remove some domain events. Or maybe you want to modify the aggregates and commands. Click on each domain event and edit the aggregates and commands as needed. You can also assign an entity for read models for each domain event. Once you have gone through all the process steps, you can look at the process from the software architecture perspective in the Domain Model tab. Here you can see the roles, the read models which represent queries, the commands that are performed on a system or aggregate, and the resulting domain events to the right. This view corresponds to the software design level of event storming. You can edit the read models, commands, aggregates, and domain events from this view as well. It is also possible to create relationships between data objects. This is covered in a separate video. Now imagine that we need to develop a custom service that is not supported by the Salesforce CRM. So we want to break out a custom microservice from the Salesforce CRM system. Let's say that you want to manage leads in a separate microservice with some custom logic. The way we do this is to create a separate bounded context for the new microservice. Let's call this lead service. As you can see now, we have defined a system boundary for the new lead service, and we have several commands operating on an aggregate where the aggregate root is the lead entity. The commands represent API endpoints for the aggregate. The AI assistant can also generate information objects or entities. In the Entities tab, you can see all the objects and the attributes the AI assistant suggested. You can edit the attribute names, move them sideways, add new attributes, or delete attributes. You can also create new entities by creating new tables with your own attributes or ask the AI assistant for help. Now we can go back to the domain model view and click the checkboxes for data fields and read models. As we can see now, we have defined the read models, the commands, and the attributes for the aggregate. This is a very simple example, and in reality you would probably have more complex data structures inside the aggregate and relations to data in other bounded contexts. Once we are happy with the design of our microservice, we can go on and generate boilerplate code for this new API. In this version of the Qlerify platform, we can select between JavaScript or C# code. It is also possible to generate unit tests, a Swagger file, and select between several database engines. Based on these selections, we will get a prompt instruction file in YAML format. This YAML file includes the domain model for your microservice and acts as a detailed instruction to the AI assistant. You can edit the YAML file with your own custom instructions. When you are happy with the file content, you can press the button Generate API. The AI assistant will now create a file structure and populate these files with requested source code. The code can now be downloaded and uploaded to GitHub. To conclude, the The Qlerify platform makes it possible to go from idea to a detailed software design and a fully documented executable prototype in a few hours. All right, that's it. For more information, please refer to our YouTube channel or our website's help section. Take care.